For someone watching or listening that might have come from a similar environment where they didn't have the opportunities, they didn't have the educational side of things, they didn't have the resources, what's a limiting thought around money that is holding them back from what they can create financially?
Well, the first thing is to think that you need a lot of money to do anything. I think that we've got ourselves into a really dangerous position when we feel like the only businesses and the only ideas that are valid are billion-dollar unicorn-sized and shaped ones. Right? I have a lot of friends and a lot of people around me that do incredible businesses, incredible because they afford them a lifestyle. They can hire people from their community. They're little and lovely with 4 employees or with 40 employees.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to do businesses and to have a business. And so I would think about, are the limitations real, or are you putting them on yourself before you get out of the gate? And that's something that requires an enormous amount of self-reflection and honesty. So you have to get out of your own way. And what happens is that people really live in their heads. You got to make sure that your biggest enemy isn't between your own 2 ears, right? You have to say to yourself, okay, wait a minute. Maybe this thing, I have these giant aspirations, but you got to get out of the gate. You got to get off your desktop, out of your head, and do something. And it also, you've got to understand that life comes in seasons. There are moments, like, you don't need everything to happen to you right away. You don't need it to be the biggest thing. You might do something that goes completely pear-shaped. There's another opportunity and another one and another one. So I want people to understand that actually you just got to do the thing. Have a go, get out of your own way. And within that, you can test and change and figure things out and learn. Like, that's the beauty of business. Everything transitions, right? Like, people imagine that you're going to start a company and that's what it is. The truth is, Good American looks nothing like it did in the beginning, right? Your principles, your reason for being, the problem that you solved, your purpose, all of that stays the same. Everything else transitions on the way up.
Yeah.
So you have to know that you're going to start with this thing and that it's going to change and shift, and you're going to change and shift, but you got to start. That's it.
What is the thing in your life that you feel like needs a shift?
There could be a different balance. You know, what happens is that, and when I say balance, I mean, I have been an owner and an operator for, what am I? I'm 43 years old. It's like 20 years, right?
Wow.
That's how
We're
long
both
I've
43.
been. Wait, what a lovely age. And glorious, by the way. You know, I've been saying to everyone throughout my whole press run around this book that I'm 42. And I did an interview at home the other day. My husband was like, "You're 42."
When's your birthday?
September 23rd.
Oh,
Like, I'm going to be 44. I'm not even 43 for that much longer. He was like, just so you know, I was like, oh my God, people are going to think I'm lying about my age. I'm 43, I'm 43, I'm 43. But your question,
the balance.
So I think that as your kids get older, they require, and this is the crazy thing, because you imagine that they need you when they're babies, right? You have these 2 little precious 5-month-old kids, and you know, there's so much that pours into them, but actually as they get older, they understand things in a different way. And so I'm trying to make sure that I get that right, that I get, like, that I can be around for the things that are important to my kids, not all the things that happen, because that's not possible, but that I can be where I need to be for them and fulfilling my own needs. And so it's really just making sure that as my life changes, that I'm part of the design changes. Do you know what I mean? That I am being purposeful and thinking, like, what is the shape of that? What does it need to be?
You can't keep doing what you did, you know, while you were launching and building this business at the next season with your kids, is what I'm hearing you say.
Because I've been 200% for the longest time. And, you know, I'm really lucky because a lot of what I do, it isn't in the startup phase now, but that is a choice, right? You can choose to stay with that mentality, or you can choose to hire a CEO or a president and shift and change your role. And I think, again, there are seasons. There are moments where I've been 200% all in, tunnel focused. And there are moments where I've said, you know what, I've just had a baby. I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to outsource some of this stuff.
Wow.
And there's other moments where I have to lean in. But I want that to be my choice. I don't want that to be dictated to me. And so I try to make sure that I'm really mindful and understanding of that.
I mean, I can only imagine the complexities of being a driven business leader while having kids. I
Mhm.
can only imagine the potential, maybe judgment, but also praise that you might have had over the last decade of like, wow, you had 4 kids and you launched all these billion-dollar brands, like, and people either praising you or maybe judging you for what they don't know.
Mm.
How did you deal with that judgment of people saying, well, was she really, you know, if she's 200% here in a business, is she really there in her family? Like,
Mhm.
how did you navigate that internally?
I think that I've learned as I got older that it's, like, it's just me against me
Uh,
at the end of the day. Like, I really tune it out. And I am one of those
that's,
people that don't really let, like, it's like everybody's going to have their point of
Mhm.
view. And, you've got other parents at the school and people that you work with. And that's why, like, I'm very clear about what type of mother I intend to be. Like, what is really important to me. Like, I like the kind of like, I like to wake my kids up in the morning and I really like to put them to bed.
Mhm.
I don't take them to school every day. I don't make their lunches. I'm not at the school gates to collect them. I don't get to every event. If it's a thing that's really important to them, if they're racing, if they're in a play, if they're like, then I am there.
Mhm.
But it's like, that's okay by me because I have my things and I'm only measuring myself against that.
Yeah.
Everything else can just kind of drown out. And I do try to talk a lot about this idea of trade-offs because people imagine, yeah, you're trading off stuff you don't want to do. No, the trade-offs are always things that you really want to do. So you have to
Yes.
choose your
That's the
life,
sacrifice.
right?
Yeah.
It's a huge sacrifice. And so again, that's why I like to think about my life in these seasons because I think there's a time and a
Mhm.
place for me to be all in. There's a time and a place where it's like, I'm going to be in lockdown. I'm not going to speak and see my friends as much as I want to.
Yeah.
That's the reality, right?
Yeah.
Something's got to give and it's usually not going to be my kids.
Mm.
So there's other places of sacrifice. But I think so long as you choose them and you're not impacted by other people's opinions.
I mean, maybe this was your British upbringing of having kind of thicker skin, but how did you learn to not focus on criticism in business, success or failure, personal life, whatever it
It's
might
not
be?
useful. It's not useful. It doesn't
Yeah.
serve me.
Yeah.
Like I am not, when I say I'm not a people pleaser, it's like I'm missing the gene. Like I don't care if
Oh,
you
man.
liked it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like in a way, I'm like, I really am so, I mean, the book is called Start With Yourself.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? But the first interview I did about the book was this wonderful woman. And she said, Emma, I can't believe I opened the family chapter and it starts with you. I'm like, that is so me. Like, I didn't even think about that. But that's how I think. Like, I am right at the top of my list because if I'm not good, then no one around me is good. And I know that feels difficult to hear from a mother of 4, but it's really the truth. And I believe that. Like, I believe that I can live up to exactly the type of woman that I want to be. And I can be a good mom. I believe that I can, do deeply meaningful and impactful work and make a load of money doing it. Like, I don't think it needs to be either or.
Yeah.
That's right. I write a whole chapter. It's both and. You make those decisions for yourself. Don't be thinking about what everybody else has got to say because it will never please you. And here's the thing. Nobody's watching you. You know this. Like, nobody's thinking about you as much as you're thinking about you. So you've got to kind of sit back and go, it's totally fine. No, like, I'm good with me. And as long as you're good with you and you can lay your head down on the pillow at night and be like, you know what? I feel really good about the decisions that I made. I feel really pleased with the type of person I am. Like, what else matters?
Yeah.
I'm not watching for other
I
people's
mean, if you
opinions.
could bottle up that, gene or lack of gene and sell it, that's your next
Now
billion-dollar
there's
thing.
the idea.
Most
We need an Emma peptide.
Most people are so worried about the opinions of others. They're so worried about the one negative comment or one negative review rather than the hundreds of positive ones or thousands.
Yeah.
That it cripples them and it focuses on that one thing where it sounds like you don't have that.
I just don't think it's useful.
Yeah.
And I try to focus on the things that are moving me forward.
That's
I
great.
always get these questions of how do you do all of these things? How do you have the businesses? How do you have kids? Are you a good wife? And I'm just like, how do I do that? Like, I have a set of goals and I say no to everything that isn't getting me closer to those goals. That's it. I have a set of things I want to do with my kids, and I say no to everything else. Like, it isn't that difficult. We made it difficult. We also have kind of like got into this space and place right now where parenting has gone completely mad. Parenting didn't get harder. The expectations of parenting got harder. You know, back in like when I was a kid, if we had fresh milk and an apple in the house, my mum was like, job done, you know, like they'll survive. Now we have to watch every ingredient. We have to monitor every friendship. We have to understand how our kids are thinking and feeling and playing. And have we got the right developmental toys for the stage that they're at? Like, do you know what? It's
I ate
not
so much
that deep.
crap as a kid, and I
Oh,
turned
come
out, you know,
on.
it's like,
It's not that deep. Do I think that your kids should sit and be, you know, like raised by the iPad? No, I don't. But at the end of the day, when we've turned parenting into another part of our ambition, that's failure to me, right? My kids need a mom who loves them. They need someone they can rely on. They need somebody that can give them like a big, lovely cuddle. And they need like attention and presence from me for about 15 minutes a day. There are 4 of them. Then it's over, Louis.
Then they're moving on. They're bored. They're thinking about something else.
They're on to the next one. And that has to be okay. Because the spin that we've got ourselves in and this idea that we're constantly failing, like that's about as useful as the people-pleasing stuff.
It is.
Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself.
I love that you said your friend opened up the book to the parenting part. It started with you. The book is called Start With Yourself. And also you end the book with your starting with yourself, which I loved. I love when you reference to Snoop Dogg, because I love that video when he got
me.
It's the greatest. I feel like in some ways someone could look at that and look at it as an egotistical approach, but I was like, man, giving yourself permission to acknowledge all the hard work that you do or someone does to create it. Yes, you can thank the people that supported you, but you're the one who had to live with you all day long and show up and do all those reps.
100%. And here's what I know, that I'm such a team player, right? I really do look at myself as like, I'm the coach. It ain't my job to get in the middle of the game and go and score the goal. But it's like, I'm going to be the best I can be for all of my people. And leadership is what I happen to be very good at, right? It's like, I am really good at building a strategy and bringing everybody along on the ride and saying, here's the vision, here's how we're going to do it. And everybody come with me. Here are the parts that you guys should play. I have to be a great team player, but I don't imagine for 1 second, because I don't know everybody's little piece of the pie, that I shouldn't be the one in charge. Not for a second. I'm like, I'm the leader. I'm the one who's doing this thing. And so it's just, I have a great appreciation for everybody else and the role they play. I just also have that for myself.
Yeah, that's great. Now I'm curious, Emma, do you feel like you were destined to be wealthy?
I mean, it would have been a hard life to live in the way that I wanted to if I wasn't. Let's be fair. I think I didn't enjoy being poor. I remember a time when all I wanted was to order something from the menu and not look at the price. You know, like that feeling. I just wanted to be able to, like,
100%.
I'll have the burger and the foie gras and a glass of champagne, please, and not worry. And that took a really long time. I think that I was destined to be successful, and I have always been focused on making money. Yes. I always put money in the center of my plans. I never imagined it would find me, because I didn't know anybody that happened to. And I never was shy about asking for what I am worth, because I have audacity and I have a work ethic that matches it. And so I wasn't expecting anyone to come to me and be like, here you go, dear. But by the same token, I was like, if I work like this, you better be ready to pay me. Like, do you know what I mean? I was like, and I'm going to take it. So that was the conundrum. Like, I really thought about money in that way. I was like, effort in, product out, correlation. Like, I'm going to, like, find the money.
If you don't make money at the center of your work, what will happen to you?
Well, it avoids you, right? And again, this happens, you know, I have a husband who's in business, and he sits on the phone to his guys, and they chat and they tell each other like what, you know, they're investing in and what money they're putting in the market and what crypto thing to do and how they paid this lawyer and this like deal that they did to structure for the house before they had the money. And I'm literally sitting there going, I haven't had one of those calls with any of my girlfriends. Why not? Because still there's some stigma attached to the way that we think about money. And somehow it's like, ew, like, she's gross. She said money like 20 times. I write in the book that I did a panel, And this wonderful, incredible woman said to me, Emma, darling, you really speak about money too much. And I was like, but the name of the panel is Women, Power and Money. What are you talking about? You know? And so I don't think that we should avoid subjects when that's exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Right. I think that we have to put ourselves in line to get what we're owed. And I don't expect that anybody is coming to save me, that anybody's going to pluck me from obscurity and go, here's the thing that you want. It never happened to me like that. So if you don't ask, you don't get.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy this and you want more inspirational content, make sure to click the subscribe button below and click right here to watch what's coming next.